Morning, boys. We will continue the exercise number 6.2. I left sum number 4. We started the sum number 4. Please see the question number 4. A tour operator charges rupees 136 per passenger with a discount of 40 paise for each passenger in excess of 100. Actually, what is the meaning for this one? That is, there is a tour operator. தமிழ்ல சொன்னா ஒரு டூர் ஆர்கனைசேஷன் என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா ஒரு சுற்றுலாக்கு போறாங்க. அது என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா ஒரு பேசஞ்சருக்கு வந்து 136 ரூபாய் அப்படின்னு சார்ஜ் பண்றான். ஒரு லிமிட். அந்த லிமிட்டுக்கு மேல பேசஞ்சர்ஸ் அதிகமா வந்தா என்ன பண்றான்? ஹி இஸ் ஆஃபரிங் டிஸ்கவுண்ட் ஆஃபர் பண்றான். 100 பேர் வரைக்கும் வந்தா 136 ரூபாய் தான். ஆனா 100 பேருக்கு மேல போனா அவன் டிஸ்கவுண்ட் தரான். எவ்வளவு டிஸ்கவுண்ட் தரான்? 40 பைசே வந்து டிஸ்கவுண்ட் தரான். அதாவது 100 பேருக்கு மேல வரவங்க கிடையாது. 100 பேர் தான் வராங்கன்னா ஒரு பேசஞ்சருக்கு வந்து 136 ரூபீஸ் அப்படின்னா 100 பேசஞ்சர் எவ்வளவு வரும்? 13,600 வந்துடும். ஆனா என்ன ஒரு கன்செஷன் கொடுக்கறான்னா, இப்ப நம்ம 100 பேருக்கு பதிலா 101 பேர் போறோம் அப்படின்னா அவன் என்ன பண்றான்? ஒவ்வொரு பேசஞ்சருக்கும் 40% டிஸ்கவுண்ட் கொடுக்கறான். அப்படி டிஸ்கவுண்ட் கொடுக்கறதுனால அவனுக்கு எவ்வளவு ப்ராஃபிட் வரும், மேக்சிமம் எவ்வளவு அமௌண்ட் அவனுக்கு லாபம் கிடைக்கும் அப்படிங்கறத கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். அதை நம்ம வந்து என்ன பண்ணும்? சாதாரணமா மேனுவலா நீ போடலாம். அது வந்து லாஜிக்கலா நீ கொண்டு வந்து ஆன்சர் என்னன்னு கொடுக்கலாம். அதுக்கு 100 பேருக்கு மேல எத்தனை பேர் வராங்கன்றது ஒண்ணு தெரியணும். பட் அதுல இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் தரல. இப்ப 120 பேர் வராங்கன்னா நீ ஈஸியா போட்டுடலாம். 136ல வந்து 40% டிஸ்கவுண்ட் 40 பைசா போனா உனக்கு என்ன வரும்? 135 ரூபீஸ் 60 பைசா வரும். அதை வந்து 120 மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணிக்கலாம். அதாவது நம்பர் ஆஃப் பேசஞ்சர்ஸ் உனக்கு தெரிஞ்சா சாதாரண கால்குலேஷன்ஸ். இந்த நம்பர் ஆஃப் பேசஞ்சர்ஸ் கொடுக்கல தெரியாது. அவன் என்ன சொல்றான்? 100 பேருக்கு மேல வந்தா 40 பைசா டிஸ்கவுண்ட், 100 பேர் வந்தா 40 பைசா டிஸ்கவுண்ட் கிடையாது. 100 பேர் வரானா, 100 பேருக்கு மேல வரானா, 100 பேருக்கு கம்மி வராங்கன்றது எந்த இன்ஃபர்மேஷனும் அவன் கொடுக்கல. அப்ப நீயே வச்சுக்கணும். இப்ப பேசஞ்சர்ஸ் நம்ம என்ன வச்சுக்கலாம்? let the number of passengers என்ன வச்சுக்கலாம்? passengers, let the number of, let x be the, you can write a statement. X is equal to number of passenger. Clear? So how do you find the difference? So I can define the cost. I take the cost as y. I consider the cost, total amount is y. Y is equal to 136 minus total, the per head is 136. If it is more than 100, the consensus is given how much? 40 paise. I don't know what is the more than 100. So that is x minus, what will come? 100 into 0.4. 40 paise can be written as 0.4x into total number of passenger. Clear? So this is cost per person into, if you multiply the number of passenger, you will get total amount. Clear? I skipped one step. This is cost per head. ஒரு பேசஞ்சருக்கு எவ்வளவு காசு ஆகும் அப்படிங்கிறது இது. எனக்கு எக்ஸ் வந்து தெரியாது. அது 100 பேருக்கு மேல இருந்தா நீ எத்தனை பேருக்குன்னு மைனஸ் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா 120 120 minus 100 20 into 0.4 போட்டு மைனஸ் பண்ணா you will get answer. புரியுதா? எனக்கு எத்தனை பேர் வருவாங்கன்னு தெரியாதனால தான் நான் எக்ஸ்ன்னு வச்சுக்கிட்டேன். ஸோ மோர் தென் 100 வந்துச்சுன்னா டிஸ்கவுண்ட் எல்லாம் கொடுக்குறான் 0.4. அதனால என்ன பண்றேன்? நான் மைனஸ் பண்ணிக்கிறேன் இன்டூ நம்பர் ஆஃப் பேசஞ்சர். ஸோ நவ் ஐ ஜஸ்ட் ஸ்டார்டட் டு சிம்பிளிஃபை பை டேக்கிங் எக்ஸ் இன்சைட் த பிராக்கெட். 136 minus x square minus into minus plus. So minus x minus into plus. 100 into 4 how much? One digit constant, so 40. Close the bracket. X. So y is equal to 136x minus x square plus 40x. So now you have to work it out these problems. Clear? So just you have to multiply this one. You will get one equations format, that is 136x minus x square plus 40x. First I am multiplying 0.4 inside the bracket along with the sign, minus into plus minus, minus into minus plus. 4 point, here I made mistake, I have to multiply 0.4x. So be careful, the same one. So when you multiply, you have to multiply properly. So minus 0.4x minus into minus plus, this will become 40 into x. Now what will come here? Minus 0.4x square. In the same way, in the exercise number 6.1, 13th sum, I make mistakes. You just find out. Now you started to simplify this one. So what will be the answer? Minus 0.x square plus 136x plus 40, which will give you 10, that is 176x. So now you started to apply the derivatives conditions. So dy by dx, that is minus 0.8x plus 176. So according to the conditions, maximum minimum, the first order make it equal to 0. That is, you will get 0.8x is equal to 176. So what will be the answer? X equal to 176 by 0.8. Just you have to remove the decimal digit by multiply the numerator and denominator by 10. So we will get answer. Now simplify, will get how many times 8 will go in 17? 8 2s are 16, remainder 1, again 20. So I got answer x is equal to 220 by using the derivatives. Next you have to define the maximum or minimum, you have to go for the second order. That is the basic rule, isn't it? To find the first order and to know whether the function is maximum or minimum, you must go for the rules. First order is equal to 0, find points, then you go to the second order. So when you go to the second order, you have to differentiate this part, don't go for this area. So differentiate, you will get minus. If it is minus, you have to say it is maximum. So you will get maximum. So we proved that the amount will be maximum when the passenger will be how much? When the passenger is 220. When the tour operator got 220 passengers, then he will get maximum amount. So that is the answer. So it is maximum, that he will get maximum amount at x is equal to 220. That's all. Clear? So you have to prove. So this, I don't know number of passengers, I consider x is the number of passengers, then I form an equation with the help of a statement, then I am applying that maximum or minimum rule, that is first order equal to 0, I find the answer, then you have to find second order I got less than 0. So according to the conditions, when the second order is less than 0, it is maximum, therefore you will get maximum at x is equal to 220. So when the tour operator got 220 passengers in the tour, then he will get maximum amount, that is profit. Clear? So based on this, it's very simple, but there are so many problems are there in exercise. You please then total revenue, or the sum number 6, we did already sum number 5 yesterday itself. Sum number 6, revenue, R is equal to 15x plus x square by 3 minus 1 by 36 x power 4. Show that highest point, average revenue, maximum average revenue. You have to show that average revenue is maximum, that's all. So there are two parts, that maximum average revenue at particular point is always equal to marginal revenue. Both you have to find out. So average revenue, you know how to find average revenue. r by x, that is a r is equal to, just you divide each term by x, you will get x by 3 minus 136 x power 3. You divide each term by x. Then you have to apply the rule, first order, 0, 1 by 3 minus 3x square by 36, simplify, you will get 12. So answer is 1 by 3 minus x square by 12. According to the maximum and minimum rule, first order is equal to 0, which implies 1 by 3 minus x square by 12 is equal to 0. Transfer that side, you will get x square by 12 is equal to 1 by 3. So if you cancel, you get 4. So x square is equal to 4, which will get x is equal to plus or minus 2. Now you have to find out the second order. You have to find out second order, that is d square y by dx square. So this is the first order. If you differentiate, you will get minus 2x by 12, you will get 6. So minus x by 6. Now you have to check whether it is maximum or minimum by using the plus or minus. At x is equal to 2, you take first 2, then what is your second order answer? Minus 2 by 6. You will get less than 0 because negative sign. So it is maximum. So maximum at x is equal to 2. So no need to replace x equal to minus 2 because you are asked to find out only the maximum point, isn't it? So I got a maximum straight away, so I don't want to take x is equal to minus 2. So if you want to take x is equal to minus 2 and substitute the second order in the place of x, doesn't matter, you will get minimum value. But we are asked only the maximum value, we don't want the minimum one. So maximum value, you have to substitute x is equal to 2, not in the question. If you replace x is equal to 2 in the question, you will get maximum revenue. But what is the question? They are asked to find out only the average revenue. Where is the average revenue? Here. So here you have to replace x is equal to 2. You will get AR is equal to 15 plus 2 by 3 minus 1 by 36 2 power 3. So just you have to simplify by using the calculator. You will come to know, you will get one answer in terms of decimal. Clear? So just you have to simplify by using calculator and write on the answer. Then you have to show that at the maximum point that the average revenue and the marginal revenue should be same. So you have to find out now marginal revenue. Differentiation of the revenue is called marginal revenue. So differentiate, you will get 15 plus 2x by 3 minus 4x power 3 by 36. Clear? So don't differentiate this one. This is average. Here you are dividing to get the average revenue. You should divide the revenue by x. So I got average revenue. Now the question is very simple. You have to show that average revenue at which where it is attains maximum. It is average revenue attains maximum at x is equal to what? 2. At this point, you have to show that both average revenue and the marginal revenue should be same. So I found the answer that average revenue is maximum at x is equal to 2. So you have to replace x is equal to 2 in average revenue in this place. You will get one answer. Simplify by using calculator. Then next you have to find out MR, that is marginal revenue dr by dx. You know what is my marginal? Differentiate the revenue function with respect to x. So I differentiate the revenue function, I got the answer. Now you have to replace again x by 2 in marginal revenue. You have to check whether both are same or different. Clear? But it is given show that you have to prove. You have to get the same answer. If you don't get the same answer for both AR and MR, then which means you did somewhere mistakes. You have to check. Clear? So here I don't bring the calculator, so I am not able to do the calculations part now. So please substitute x is equal to 2 in the place of x in marginal revenue. Check whether both are same or not. Some difference may be occurred after the decimal. So when the integral part is same, doesn't matter. Clear? The decimal part you may get some slight changes. That is not wrong. Clear? So you have to complete this one by using the calculator. Next, we will go to the inventory. That exercise number 6.3, that is called inventory problems. Inventory is nothing. It is, what is meant by inventory? Inventory means when the businessman will think always, for example, next year Deepavali, how it will be, how many orders will get from the people. So the businessmen, when the cracker businessmen, they have a data. They will have forecast. Depends upon the previous year's sales and the economic condition for the people and natural calamities. Like this year, see, the Deepavali festival is not up to the mark like compared with the last year. The reason is COVID-19, isn't it? So normally the business has got lost. This is called natural calamities. So you cannot predict the natural calamities. Clear? So COVID-19 nobody accepted. The totally 1 year is gone. So that this comes under inventory models. So depends upon the need and the future needs, current need and the future needs. So depends upon these two. They have to produce the product either more than the current one or less than the current one. So this is called inventory. Actually this is mean for at what time you have started to produce and what time you have to add it for the raw materials. So these two are very important. So once the businessman is very clever on these two, then he will never get lost. So based on this concept, we have some mathematical concept called inventory control. So for inventory control, we have some basic concept, that is carrying cost. You know what is meant by the carrying cost, that is holding cost. When the goods, if you are getting the goods, to keep the goods in a room, you have to pay the rent. So rent means, so for example, if you go to the railway station junction, when you park your vehicles, they are charged for 12 hours, sometimes 24 hours. If you go to some mall, some places in the metropolitan city or even in the airport, your vehicle will be charged per hour wise. So it is based on hours or 12 hours or 24 hours or monthly wise. So it is depends upon the situations or in the place. Clear? So this is called carrying cost or holding cost or storage cost. Sorry, holding cost, storage cost, or inventory cost. Clear? Now what is the shortage cost? Penalty. You know the businessmen, some of the export businessmen, they will order the class that some of them will get sublots from that whole dealers. They will give to some weavers. They weaved with help of the power looms. But when the date is gone, they will not receive it. So that is called a penalty. You have to pay penalty. The grace time is gone. So you have to pay the penalty. So that is called what? Shortage cost. The next one, setup cost or ordering cost. This ordering cost is initially, this is very important. To start a business, you must know some basic amount, that is called setup cost. Clear? So setup cost, ordering cost or procurement cost are called C3. Shortage cost stands for C2, whereas holding cost, storage cost, inventory carrying cost as C1. Carrying cost means transport facilities. So you must remember this EOQ, economic order quantity. So this is very important. Economic order quantity, EOQ. Exercise number 6.3. EOQ stands for economic order quantity or economic order lot size. Clear? Formula for EOQ is 2RC3 by C1. So this is very important formula. You have to memorize the formula for EOQ. That is 2C3R by C1. So just now I said C3 stands for setup cost, ordering cost, where C1 stands for carrying cost or cost per unit. Clear? So C1 stands for cost per unit, C3 stands for ordering cost, C1 stands for carrying cost or holding cost. Clear? So R is number of units. It will be there in the questions. So when the percentage is given in the question, you have to multiply the carrying cost into percentage. Clear? When the question carry the percentage, you have to multiply the given percentage with what? Carrying cost. So now I know what is C3, C1 and R. So EOQ is economic order quantity or economic order lot size. Now we have some few formulas based on the concept. So you have to memorize. You may have 2 more questions or 5 more questions from this exercise alone. So I am writing now that optimum order. So order. So order is ending with which letter? R. Therefore R by Q naught. So Q naught is nothing but EOQ. So just you have to memorize the formula order. Order, that word is ending with letter R. Therefore R by Q naught. Then third one, time. Just take reciprocal of the order, will get time. That is Q naught by R. Then other than whatever it is called, then minimum average cost or whatever it is, minimum average cost or minimum average cost, some other concept other than these three, you can take always, this is the formula C1, C3. Square root of 2 or C1, C3. Clear? So minimum average. So Q naught is equal to EOQ 2R C3 C1 C3 C1 and R. So second formula order R by Q naught, time, reciprocal. Other than these two, whatever the question they asked, you have to write minimum average cost formula. Clear? So depends upon the question, you have to select the formula. Some examples are there, you please, and one more is given. One more formula, this is formula number 4. At EOQ, you are asked to verify the ordering cost as well as carrying cost. What is the formula to find carrying cost? That is called CC. CC means what? Carrying cost, that is Q naught by 2 into C1. Then ordering cost, that is OC, is equal to, ordering cost is equal to, what is the order formula? R by Q naught into C3. That because C3 stands for ordering cost. So R by Q naught into C3. So at EOQ, CC, that is carrying cost, is equal to Q naught by 2. Ordering cost is R by Q naught into C3. Both will be same at CC. That is carrying cost will be equal to ordering cost at EOQ. That is economic order quantity. Don't confuse this ordering cost and carrying cost with this one. This is different and that is different. So don't confuse this. Ordering cost is, sir, you said ordering cost stands for C3. This is not holds to for in this case. At EOQ, carrying cost is not equal to the given one. Clear? We have separate formula at EOQ to find CC as well as OC. CC stands for carrying cost, OC stands for ordering cost. At EOQ, both carrying cost as well as the ordering cost should be equal. If it is not equal, which means your business going to be lost. That is the meaning to find out the carrying cost and ordering cost at EOQ. Now you will see some problems in the exercise number 6.3. Based on this formula, you have to proceed. So no calculator, I just substitute the values in that formula. You please complete these problems at home by using the calculators. We have 3 problems A, B, C in the question number 1. Clear? So first A sum, I will do the first under 1 A. It is given number of units, that is R, 800. You take number of units as R. Then unit price. Unit price is given 0.02. Then ordering cost. Ordering cost is given, that is OC. OC means what? Ordering cost is given 5. Then something is given, holding cost is 10% of unit price. Just now it's set. Then unit price is what? Carrying cost. So carrying cost is equal to, just now I gave formula. You have to multiply the percentage with what? Unit price. I gave formula before itself. Carrying cost is equal to unit price into percentage. When the percentage is given, you multiply that percentage with unit price. When the percentage is not given, straight away you take carrying cost as the unit cost. Clear? But here it is given very clearly, holding cost is 10% of unit price. Therefore, you have to multiply the unit price with what? Percentage. That's what I gave the formula for carrying cost is equal to unit price into percentage. I gave already. When the percentage is not given, you please take the carrying cost as it is the unit price. No need to multiply with the percentage. Straight away substitute in the formula, you get the answer. But here you have to multiply with the percentage the unit price. The reason is percentage is given 10% per unit. So unit price is 0.02. Multiply the percentage with 0.02, you will get carrying cost. So carrying cost is nothing but what? C1. So C1 is equal to 0.02 into 10 by 100. Your C3 is ordering cost. What is the ordering cost is given already? 5. C3 is 5. Already I gave what is C1, what is C3. Just refer the formula and substitute. R is given already 800. Now you can easily find out Q naught. What is Q naught? Square root of 2R C3 by C1. Just you have to substitute 2 into R is replaced by 800 into what is the C3? C3 is 5. Then C1 get 0. 0 get cancelled. 0.02 by 10 how much? Again 0.002. Just you have to multiply and divide the answer by 0.002. Take square root, you will get answer. Do it at home. Clear? That is the answer for question number 1. There are 5 questions for each one. This is answer for first one. Answer for second one is minimum average cost. This is the minimum average cost. I got formula. That is 2RC1C3. Square root of 2 into 800 into, what is your C1? C1 is, we found already C1 is 0.002 into C3. What is the C3? C3 is 5. So just you multiply and take square root. Clear? That is answer for the second one. Third one, EOQ in rupees. So what is your EOQ answer? You got some answer, isn't it? So just you have to multiply that answer by 2 into 800 into 0.5 by 0.02 into that unit price. What is the unit price? 0.02. 0.02. Clear? Just you have to multiply that EOQ answer, because I don't know the calculator, I don't have a calculators now, so I am not able to do these problems. You do it at home, you will get one answer. That answer should be multiplied with what? 0.02, that is unit price. The next one, fourth one. The fourth one is time. They are asked to find out EOQ in years. They are asked to find out time. So time is called T naught. So what is the formula to find T naught? Just you have to take reciprocal of the order. I told how to find out order. Order is ending with letter R, therefore R by Q naught. That is for finding the orders. To find time, you have to take reciprocal of the order, that is Q naught by R. Again, you should find out what is the value, what is the answer for Q naught. Simplify, substitute and divide the answer by how much? 800. You will see now, you will check the answer by, I will upload with the help of the calculators. Clear? So some of the boys, so now you, by using the calculator, you will get, just I worked out. So by simplification I got 2000. Then that 2RC1C3, when you multiply and take the square root, you will get 4. Then when you multiply, this is, you have to multiply instead of this one, just you have to take 2000, because I got answer for EOQ. 2000 into 0.02, you get 40, then time Q naught by R, Q naught we found already 2000, just you have to divide. You may write in fractional format or even in the decimal format, doesn't matter. 5 by 2 is 2.5, then order 2 by 5, you can write even in terms of the decimal, that is will get 0.4. Clear? So this is the process to find out answers for EOQ, minimum average cost, EOQ in rupees, EOQ in years of supply, and number of orders per year. So there are 3 problems are given in the question number 1, and you have to find out the answer. So there is no different method, all are same. You have to write first R, then C1, C3. So I will give the hints for all the remaining 2 problems. What is R, C1 and C3? You please refer the formulas in the same model. You started to work out the problems at home. Clear? Now we will go to the second A, B sum. I will give only the hints. I am not going to work out the problems because this is purely depends on the calculators. So use calculator and simplify and find the answers. Clear? So sum number B, R 400. That is C1. C1 is what? Carrying cost. Carrying cost is given, it is given percentage, therefore you multiply the 1 rupee into 10 by 100. Clear? Then C3. C3 is ordering cost, it is given already 5. So you have to simplify this one. 1 0 get cancelled, so C1 is equal to 0.1. Clear? So sum number C, R is equal to 13,800, then C1 is equal to unit price 0.20 into percentage 10 by 100, then C3 is 5 because ordering cost is common for all. So just you have to simplify this one more digit 0.020, so that is C1. So just you have to substitute in the formulas and find all the required one. Clear? Sum number 2 also same model. You please try, otherwise I will teach in the next class. Sum number 2 is homework. It is given 7.5% per year, so you multiply the 7.5% with which one? Unit price. You always multiply the percentage with unit price. Here unit price is given 50 rupees. Then percentage is given 7.5. Just you have to multiply those two, that is C1, C3 is 75, R is 400. Only 2 questions they are asked. Clear? So it is instead of given like this, it is given in the statement wise. No other difference. Same method, you have to follow the same model. Then question number 2 is homework. Now we will go to the question, exercise number 6.4. That is partial derivatives. So it is something is different from that previous differentiation. The previous differentiation is called a total differentiation. For example, I am defining the function y is equal to x cube plus xy. So how to differentiate? If I am using the small letter d, is called a total derivatives. So if it is total derivatives, dy by dx is equal to 3x square plus, you have 2 variables, that is we can apply UV method, x dy by dx, then y into 1. This is called total derivatives. What is mean by partial derivatives? Very simple. If I am using this symbol dou, this symbol, how to read this symbol? Dou. If I am differentiating, so you cannot define the function y is equal to in terms of y. You have to define a function y like this. Now u is function of how many variable? 2 variable, x and y. Now I have to find out the differentiate with respect to x. You cannot use the total differentiation, that is not allowed. You go for partial fractions. So where you are differentiating the y with partially with respect to what? You are differentiating the y u function with respect to only x. You are differentiating the function u with respect to only x. In such a case, you have to take partial fractions. If with total differentiation, you have to differentiate all the variable x, y, z, whatever it is given. When it is comes under, if you want to differentiate only x in the function, so you have to take only partial. So you differentiate the function u partially with respect to x, 2x. Here x, you don't apply UV method like this model. If it is total differentiation, you have to apply UV method. If it is partial differentiation, it is not necessary to apply UV method because you are differentiating that u function with respect to which variable? X variable only, not with y variable. Whereas in total differentiation, you have to differentiate both x and y. But whereas in partial differentiation, if you want to differentiate only x, you differentiate only x. X will become how much? 1. So you can keep y as it is. Don't try dou y by dou x. Your answer is wrong because here the question is very simple. You are differentiating the function u partially with respect to which variable? X variable alone. So wherever x, you differentiate only x. When x is not there, for example, u is equal to x cube plus y, I am differentiating this u function with respect to x, partially with respect to x, then this is 3x square. Do you have any x? No, therefore it becomes 0. But if it is total differentiation, you have to differentiate like this, du by dx, 3x square, dy by dx. That is not possible, but it will come. This is for example. If it is total differentiation, you have to differentiate y with respect to x. Whereas in partial fraction, you have to differentiate the term which consisting only the x. Here we have x variable, so 3x square. Do you have x variable in this second term? No. Therefore, it will become 0. If it is x, you have answer. There is no x variable along with y. Therefore, according to the partial derivatives, this will become 0. See the difference between these two. Here I have x and y as a factor. So I would like to differentiate only with the x. So this x will become 1, y you can keep it as it is. But here there is no x variable, therefore this will be considered as constant with respect to x. It becomes 0. When you go for the total differentiation, you cannot make this y as 0. You have to differentiate with respect to the x variable dy by dx. That's the difference between the total derivations and partial derivatives. This is very simple exercise. You please don't confuse with the total differentiation with the partial differentiation. Clear? So now question number 1, they defined the function z as ax plus b into cy plus d. You can apply UV method also, doesn't matter. But it's very simple. First you have to multiply acxy, adx, bcy, bd. Normal multiplication. acxy, adx, bcy, bd. There is z function. Now you are asked to find out the derivatives for partially with respect to x. So here x will become 1. So acy plus ad. There is no x. 0, 0. Clear? So what is the common factor of these two? A. That is, will get cy plus d. Next you have to differentiate the same function with respect to y. Here y, so y will become 1. So you have to write remaining terms as it is. No y, 0. Here we have y, that is bc. Last one, no variable, that is 0. So acx plus bc, c is a common factor, you will get ax plus b. That's all answer. Clear? So this is your answer. Next one, second sum. Very easiest exercise, 6.4 and 6.5. So both exercise surely you will get 5 more questions. So be careful. 2 is equal to, that is u is equal to e power x into y. Now you have to show that dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square is equal to u of x square plus y square. So now you have to find out first order. You have to differentiate x, e power x is e power x, no changes in y. Then you have to find second order, no changes, same answer will come. Question is wrong, it is not given according to that, prove that conditions, but you have to differentiate what is given in the questions. Don't change. Now you have to differentiate dou u by dou y. Y will become 1, e power x. Clear? So dou square u by dou y square. Do you have any y terms? When you first, if you differentiate partially with respect to y, y will become 1. So, e power x into 1. So, next there is no y, it will be 0. So, dou square u by dou x square is plus dou square u by dou y square is equal to e power x y plus 0. So, what will be the answer? E power x y, that is u. But it is given so. So, question is wrong, but I did not change the question. What is given in the question, I am follow the rules. So, you will get this answer, you never get the book answer. Clear? The next one, question number 3. So, that is last one. So, after that we will see the remaining problems in the next class. Question number 3. It is defined u is equal to x cos y plus y cos x. Now you have to verify that dou square u by dou x dou y, dou square u by dou y dou x. So this is combination of both x and y. How do you find out dou square u by dou x dou y? Very simple. You have to split that dou u by dou y. So you have to separate the given question like dou square u as dou u by dou y then dou x. So what is given the first one? You have to differentiate the given function with respect to first y. What is given here? Y variable. So differentiate the u function. What is given here? Y. Differentiate u with respect to y. Differentiate, x is there, it is under multiplication, keep it as it is. Cos x will become minus sin. Clear? Plus differentiating y will become 1. So you will get only cos x into 1. So what will be the answer? Minus x sin y plus cos x. Next you have to differentiate this answer dou u by dou y. Differentiate this answer with respect to what? X. So I got dou square u by dou x dou y. So differentiate this now with respect to which variable? X variable. That is the formula. So differentiate minus sin y, cos x will become minus sin x. Clear? So minus sin y minus sin x. In the same way, you have to differentiate first the right side. This is left hand side, LHS. Now we will go to RHS, right hand side. Dou square u by dou y dou x, it can be replaced by dou u by dou x. Then, so first you have to find out dou u by dou x. Differentiate, this is cos y because x will become 1 plus y into cos x is what? Minus sin x. So again you have to differentiate this function with respect to what? Y. So when you differentiate this one, this will become minus on y, sin x will become cos. This y will become 1. So minus 1 into sin x, that is minus sin y minus sin x. Now you check both are same or not same. It is verified. RHS is equal to LHS. Clear? So boys, remember, if it is given the mixed variable, what is given in the first variable, you have to differentiate the function u with respect to the first variable, if it is y or x. Here it is given y, so I am differentiating this u with y, partial. Then you have to differentiate this answer again with respect to which variable? X variable. I got one more answer. Clear? So I got minus sin y minus sin x. In the same way for the right side, what is the first variable here? X. So differentiate the u with respect to which variable? X. I got answer. Then you differentiate this answer with respect to again which variable? Y variable. So don't differentiate first to y then x. That is wrong. Remember what is given the first variable? Y. Differentiate y. What is given there? X. Then you will go for the next one. Clear? You will see the remaining problem in the next class, boys. Thank you.